sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, let's dive deep today, huh? We're going to be exploring something I think we all struggle with, right? Patience. It's like that thing we know is important.
Yeah.
But how many of us actually practice it? I know I don't always.
Right.
So today we're looking at this source, The Unparalleled Power of Patience. And it's honestly making me rethink the whole concept of what patience really is.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating, right? Like,
Yeah.
we live in this crazy world of instant gratification.
Oh, tell me about it.
Everything's got to be fast, fast, fast.
Right now. I need it now.
Exactly. So the whole idea of patience, it almost feels countercultural, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this source, it's arguing that patience is actually like the secret weapon to achieving all these things that we all want, right? Like wisdom, confidence,
The
success.
big ones.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate life hack that no one's really talking about.
It's true. It's not trendy,
No.
but I like it. Well, and the source starts off with this really bold statement. It says that patience is the foundation of wisdom.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, hold on.
Right.
What does that even mean? Because I always thought of wisdom as, just knowing a lot of stuff. But the source is saying it's not just about knowing things. It's about actually being able to use that knowledge effectively.
Yeah, it's about applying it right. And I think what's so key here, what the source emphasizes, is that patience, it allows us to actually process information and our experiences way more deeply.
So you're not just like reacting
No.
on a surface level.
Exactly. It's not just knee-jerk.
Yeah.
Instead of like jumping to conclusions or reacting impulsively, we take that time, to actually observe what's happening and then reflect on it and really consider different perspectives.
Like we actually think things through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that takes patience.
It does. It
really does.
So is it like, would you say that patience is that space between when something happens and when we react? Like that space gives us the power to actually choose how to respond.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's such a good way to put it.
Okay, good.
It's that space where we can choose
Yeah.
a wiser course of action.
Yeah. Yeah, because if we just react, like, boom,
Oh, it could be a disaster.
big mistakes.
Yeah, definitely.
So patience isn't just about waiting passively.
No.
It's about actually like actively engaging with whatever's happening and then using that time to gain, more clarity, more understanding.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And, and that clarity, that's what leads to wisdom.
Oh,
It's that ability to see the bigger picture,
Yeah.
to connect all the dots and
Yeah.
to make choices that are aligned with our values and our long-term goals.
Okay, so we've got patience equals wisdom,
Right.
but this source goes even further. It calls patience a superpower, which sounds a bit dramatic.
It does.
But I gotta admit, I'm kind of intrigued.
Yeah, well, think about it this way. What makes a superpower, like actually powerful, it's that ability to do something that, most people can't.
Right.
But and in our world where everybody's just rushing around like crazy,
Oh my gosh.
being patient,
Yeah.
it actually gives you this unique advantage,
It's
right?
like you're the calm in the storm
Yes.
when everyone else is losing their minds.
Exactly. Patience allows you to stay grounded, You can think clearly, make rational decisions, even when everything around you is just chaotic.
It's like a superpower.
It is. That in itself is a superpower.
I'm starting to see it.
Right.
It's not about being passive or letting people walk all over you.
No, not at all.
It's about having that inner strength to stay calm, stay focused,
Yeah,
even when you're under pressure.
exactly. That takes real resilience.
It does.
That resilience,
Yeah.
that's another superpower that patience helps us cultivate.
Okay.
It's not about, never making mistakes. It's about having that grit, that determination to get back up when you fall down.
Which, let's be honest, we all do.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
We all fall down.
But, the source also says that patience has a direct impact on our self-confidence. And I'm like, wait, how does that work? What's the connection there?
I think it comes down to self-acceptance. When we're patient with ourselves,
Yeah.
we acknowledge that, we're all works in progress.
Right.
We're not expecting to be perfect overnight.
So we're not beating ourselves up for every little mistake.
Exactly. Instead, we give ourselves permission to learn and to grow at our own pace.
Okay. Yeah.
And that self-compassion, it actually boosts our confidence.
Yeah, so.
Because we're no longer afraid of feeling. We know that setbacks, they're a natural part of the journey.
Yeah.
And we have the patience to keep going.
This is making me think about how much time and energy I waste trying to be perfect.
Right.
Instead of just focusing on getting better little by little each day.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in that perfectionism trap.
Yeah.
But that pressure to be perfect, it can be paralyzing. It prevents us from taking risks, from trying new things,
Yeah.
and ultimately, it prevents us from reaching our full potential.
Wow. So patience is like the antidote to perfectionism.
I like that.
It is. I like that too. But, the source doesn't just focus on our internal world. It also talks about how crucial relationships are to any kind of success, really.
Right. And I think that's where patience plays this really powerful role. It allows us to build those really deep, meaningful connections.
Yeah.
That support us through thick and thin,
Because relationships can be messy.
Oh, tell me about it.
They take work, they take compromise, and a whole lot of understanding.
So much understanding.
Yeah.
And patience, It's the key to navigating all that complexity. It allows us to listen with an open heart,
Yeah.
to communicate our needs effectively,
Ah.
and to forgive ourselves and others when mistakes are made, because they will be made.
That's the thing. They happen.
Yeah, they do.
I'm also curious about this idea that patience makes us more magnetic in our relationships.
Yeah.
How does that actually work?
Well, I think it's about creating a sense of safety and trust for the people around us, When we're patient, they know we're not going to judge them harshly.
Right.
Or react impulsively.
They feel safe.
Exactly. And that kind of, steady, grounded energy, it's incredibly attractive.
It's like people feel seen and heard when you're truly patient with them.
Yes, absolutely. And that creates such a deeper level of connection
Yeah.
and intimacy.
Yeah, and that connection it's essential for any kind of collaborative success.
It is.
Whether it's our families, our friendships, our careers.
Right.
Strong relationships, they're built on that foundation of trust and mutual respect. And those are both cultivated through patience.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got patience linked to wisdom, resilience, self-confidence, stronger relationships. But then the source goes on to talk about self-acceptance as being the key to personal growth.
Oh, yeah. And that's where it gets really interesting because in a way,
Yeah.
self-acceptance is kind of like the foundation of all the other benefits we've been talking about.
Because if we can't accept ourselves, flaws and all,
Yeah.
how can we be truly patient with ourselves?
Yeah, exactly.
Or, frankly, with anyone else?
Yeah, it's about recognizing that we're all perfectly imperfect. And that's okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, happiness, and success.
It's so easy to get caught up in that pressure to be perfect, though.
Oh, I know.
Especially with social media, right? It's we're constantly bombarded with these idealized versions of people's lives.
Oh, yeah. It's everywhere.
And it's it makes us feel like we're not good enough
Right.
as we are.
Yeah, and that's where patience becomes so crucial. It allows us to step back from all that external pressure and reconnect with our own inner truth.
So we're quieting that inner critic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And replacing it with more compassionate and accepting perspective.
I love that.
Yeah, and that shift in perspective,
Yeah.
it can be incredibly liberating. It allows us to focus on our own unique path,
Yeah.
to celebrate our strengths, and to embrace our imperfections as opportunities for growth.
I'm starting to see how this all ties together.
Right.
Patience isn't just some passive virtue.
No.
It's this active force that actually empowers us to become the best versions of ourselves.
It is. And it's not something that happens overnight.
No.
It's a journey,
Yeah.
a process of continual learning and growth.
It's a lifelong thing.
It is.
Okay, now, this part is really interesting. The source goes in a completely different direction
Okay.
and brings in the power of a smile.
Yes. This part is so intriguing.
I know.
It might seem a little unexpected at first,
It did to me.
but it actually ties in beautifully with everything we've been discussing.
I'm all ears. How does smiling connect to patience and personal growth?
Okay, so the source, it dives into this concept called the law of attraction, which basically says that our thoughts and emotions, they create this kind of energetic vibration that attracts similar vibrations back to us.
So if we're putting out positive energy,
Yeah,
we're more likely to attract positive experiences.
exactly.
Okay.
And smiling, even when we don't necessarily feel like it, it's such a powerful way to shift our energy and attract more positivity into our lives.
But it's not about faking a smile, right? It's got to be genuine.
Oh, absolutely. A forced smile, it won't have the same effect.
Okay.
It's about cultivating a genuine sense of joy and gratitude, even in the midst of challenges, you know?
So it's like choosing to focus on the good, even when things are tough.
Yeah.
And then letting that inner joy radiate outwards.
Exactly. And the amazing thing is that even if we don't feel particularly joyful in the moment, the act of smiling can actually trigger the release of endorphins in our brains.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which can lift our mood and help us feel more positive.
So it's like a positive feedback loop.
It is.
We smile, we feel better, we attract more positivity.
Yes. And the cycle continues.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
That's the power of a simple smile.
It is. It's a small act that can have this ripple effect
Yeah.
on our own well-being and the well-being of the people around us.
You know what I love about that? It's like a little reminder that we have more control over our own happiness than we often realize.
Yeah.
We can choose to focus on the good. We can choose to cultivate that positive mindset.
Yes.
And then let that joy shine through.
I love that.
Yeah, a genuine smile.
And that choice, that conscious decision to embrace positivity, it's so connected to patience.
Yeah, because when we're patient, we're less likely to get caught up in all that like negativity and frustration, right?
Exactly. Patience allows us to see the bigger picture,
Yeah.
to trust that things will work out in the end,
Yeah.
and to find moments of joy even when things are challenging.
Yeah.
And that inner peace and joy, you know, that's what radiates outwards and attracts more good things into our lives.
This is making me rethink the whole concept of patience.
Yeah.
It's not just about waiting patiently. It's about actively cultivating this like positive and empowering mindset that allows us to thrive really in all areas of our lives.
Yes. And that's what this source really drives home. It's about seeing patience not as this passive virtue,
Right.
but as this active force that can transform our relationships, our careers,
Yeah.
our health, and ultimately our entire experience of life.
That's huge. You know, one thing that really stood out to me in this source was how it talked about patience as a pathway to wisdom. It's like instead of always rushing to get to the destination, we're taking the scenic route.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not just about slowing down, right? It's about actively engaging with the journey. Patience allows us to like savor the experience,
Yeah.
observe all the little details,
Yeah.
and learn from everything along the way.
So it's not just about the destination. It's about what we gain
Yes,
from the journey itself.
exactly.
Okay.
Think about it like this. Think about a time you learned something really valuable, maybe from a mistake you made or a challenging situation you went through, right? Did that wisdom, did it come from rushing through it? Or did it come from taking the time to really process and reflect on what happened?
Definitely from reflecting on it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the more patient we are with the process, the deeper our understanding becomes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's be real.
Yeah.
Patience isn't always easy, especially in today's world, right?
No, it's
Like
big.
everything is geared towards instant gratification.
It is.
I want it and I want it now.
Right.
And that's the problem.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
We are bombarded with messages that tell us to be faster, more efficient.
Yeah.
Get what we want now.
Right.
But this source, what it argues is that this constant striving for instant gratification, it actually robs us of true fulfillment.
I think that's because we're so focused on the end result
Yeah.
that we miss out on like the beauty of the journey itself.
Exactly. And this is where patience becomes this radical act of rebellion against that go, go, go mentality, right?
Yeah.
It's about consciously choosing to slow down, to appreciate the process,
Yeah.
and to savor the small moments.
I can see how that would be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
Especially in a world that's constantly telling us to do more, be more, have more.
It is. It's about reclaiming our time, our attention, our energy, and directing it towards things that truly matter.
That's powerful stuff.
It is.
And patience is the key to that.
It is.
You know, we talked about it before, but I'm still really intrigued by this idea of patience being a superpower.
Oh, yeah.
It does sound a little dramatic,
It does.
but the source makes a compelling case. So think about it this way.
Okay.
Superpowers are often associated with like these extraordinary abilities.
Yeah.
And in a world where everyone's rushing being patient, it actually sets you apart. It gives you this edge.
It does.
So it's like you have this secret weapon that most people don't even realize they need.
Exactly. It's a quiet strength
Mm.
that allows you to navigate challenges with grace, to make wise decisions,
Yeah.
and to achieve lasting success.
That's a great point. It's
Yeah.
like you have the clarity to see these opportunities that other people miss because they're too busy rushing ahead.
Right, exactly. It's about being present, observant, and responsive rather than reactive.
I like that. The source also talked about the connection between patience and self-confidence. How does that work?
Well, I think it comes down to self-acceptance.
Okay.
When we're patient with ourselves, we're acknowledging that we're all works in progress, right? We don't have to be perfect right now.
Yeah.
We can make mistakes, we can learn from them, and we can keep growing.
Right. It's like we're giving ourselves permission to be human,
Yeah,
without that pressure to be perfect all the time.
exactly. And when we release that pressure, something amazing happens.
That's that.
We start to see our imperfections not as flaws, but as opportunities for growth and self-discovery.
That's a good way to look at it.
Right.
So patience is helping us embrace that journey of becoming our best selves.
Yeah.
Instead of constantly striving for this unattainable ideal.
I love that way of putting it
Yeah.
because it's about progress, not perfection. And patience is the key to embracing that ongoing process of growth.
Yeah, it's like we're always evolving.
Well,
We're
the
always
thing-
becoming.
Yes.
The source also highlights how important relationships are to achieving any kind of success.
Right.
And I'm curious how patience fits into that equation.
Well, I think it's pretty clear that no one achieves success in isolation. Right.
No.
We all need support, we need guidance, we need collaboration along the way.
Yeah.
And patience is essential for building and nurturing those strong, healthy relationships.
Because, relationships, let's face it, they
Yeah.
can be messy, they can be challenging.
It can.
It takes a lot of patience to navigate
It does.
all those ups and downs.
It does. It's about being understanding, it's about being forgiving, and it's about being willing to work through disagreements.
It's not always easy.
It's not. And it's about recognizing that, everyone is on their own unique journey, right?
Yeah.
Moving at their own pace.
Everyone's different.
We are.
So patience helps us be more compassionate and less judgmental of others.
Exactly. It allows us to see the good in people, even when they're making mistakes or going through a tough time.
That's hard sometimes.
It is. It is.
We talked before about patience making us more magnetic in our relationships.
Yeah.
I'm still curious about that. How does that actually work?
Well, I think it comes down to creating a sense of safety and trust.
Okay.
When we're patient,
Yeah.
people feel like they can be themselves around us without fear of judgment or rejection.
They can be authentic.
Yes, exactly. And that authentic connection.
Yeah.
That's what makes relationships truly fulfilling and supportive.
Yeah.
It allows us to be vulnerable, to share our joys and sorrows,
Yeah.
and to grow together.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we've got patience linked to wisdom, self-confidence, stronger relationships, this idea of being more magnetic.
Right.
But the source also goes into this really interesting concept of self-acceptance.
Yes. And this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
It is. Because how can we be truly patient with others if we're not patient with ourselves?
That's such a great point. It all starts with self-compassion. We need to be kind to ourselves, acknowledge our imperfections,
Yeah.
and celebrate our strengths.
I think that's where a lot of us struggle.
Yeah.
We're so hard on ourselves.
We are.
We set these unrealistic expectations and then we beat ourselves up when we don't meet them.
It's true. We live in a culture that glorifies perfection.
Yeah.
But the reality is that perfection doesn't exist. It's an illusion that can actually hold us back for
Yeah.
achieving our true potential.
Because we're so focused on being perfect,
Yeah.
we're afraid to take risks, make mistakes,
Right.
and to really grow.
Exactly. Patience allows us to release that fear and embrace that messy, beautiful process of becoming our best selves.
Yeah.
It's about trusting the journey, even when it gets bumpy.
So how do we cultivate more self-acceptance? Where do we even begin?
Well, I think it starts with awareness.
Okay.
We need to pay attention to our self-talk. How do we speak to ourselves? Are we kind? Are we compassionate? Are we encouraging?
Yeah.
Or are we critical? Are we judgmental? Are we unforgiving?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right.
I know I can be pretty harsh on myself.
We all can.
Yeah.
But the good news is that we can change that.
Mm.
We can choose to be more mindful of our thoughts
Yeah.
and to replace that negative self-talk with positive affirmations.
Yeah.
We can remind ourselves that we are worthy, we are capable, and deserving of love and respect just as we are.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
like we're giving ourselves a pep talk, but
Yeah.
with real, genuine kindness and compassion.
Exactly. And it's amazing how even small shifts in our self-talk can make a big difference. We start to feel more confident, more resilient,
Yeah.
and more empowered to pursue our goals.
So patience isn't just about waiting for things to happen.
Right.
It's about actively cultivating a positive and supportive relationship with ourselves.
Beautifully said. It's about embracing that journey of growth
Yeah,
and becoming the best version of ourselves, one patient step at a time.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now this part I was not expecting.
Okay.
The source brings in the power of a smile.
I love this part.
I know, it seems random.
It does.
So it dives into this law of attraction concept, where it's basically saying smiling sends out this positive energy,
Yeah.
and that positive energy attracts good things back to us.
I love that.
I know, it's pretty cool.
It's so simple,
Yeah,
yet so profound.
right.
And it really speaks to the interconnectedness of everything.
It's true. It's like our energy, our thoughts, our emotions, they all have this ripple effect on the world around us.
They do. And a smile
Yeah.
is such a powerful way to shift our energy and attract more positivity into our lives.
But it can't be a fake smile.
No.
Right.
It has to be genuine.
It's got to be,
real. Absolutely. A forced smile.
yeah.
It won't have the same effect.
Right.
It's about cultivating a genuine sense of joy and gratitude, even in the midst of challenges.
So even when things are tough,
Yeah.
we're choosing to focus on the good
Yes,
and then letting that reflect outwards.
exactly. It's a conscious choice we make to embrace joy and to radiate that joy outwards.
But how does smiling actually attract good things? Is there any science behind this law of attraction stuff?
Well, there's a growing body of research
Okay.
that suggests that our thoughts and emotions can actually influence our reality. For example, studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly,
Okay.
they tend to experience more positive emotions, better health, and stronger relationships.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It's pretty cool, right? So it's not just some woo-woo mystical concept.
Right.
There's actual science to back it up.
Okay, so how does it work?
Well, while the exact mechanisms are still being explored,
Okay.
it seems that our thoughts and emotions create this sort of energetic vibration that attracts similar vibrations back to us.
So if we're radiating positive energy,
Yeah.
we're more likely to attract those positive experiences into our lives.
And smiling is a simple
Yeah.
yet powerful way
Yeah.
to amplify that positive energy.
I'm starting to see how this all ties together.
Yeah.
Patience, self-acceptance, positive energy, a genuine smile.
Yeah.
They all work together to create a more fulfilling and successful life.
They do. And it all starts with a conscious choice to cultivate these qualities within ourselves.
So we're not just waiting for things to happen.
No.
We're actively creating the life that we want.
Beautifully said. And remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So start small, be patient with yourself, and trust the process.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But I think the main takeaway is that patience isn't passive.
No.
It's this active force for growth and success in every area of our lives.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up our deep dive into the unparalleled power of patience, I want to leave you with a question. It's simple but powerful.
Yeah.
What's one area in your life where a little more patience could make a huge difference? It could be a relationship that's feeling strained.
Yeah.
Or a goal that seems impossibly far off. Or even just, your daily commute, host, speaker. That's a good one, that daily commute.
Right.
Because we often just go through life on autopilot.
We do.
And we don't realize where we could benefit from just being a little more patient.
Yeah, and what I think is so fascinating about this source is that it doesn't just preach the virtues of patience, right?
Yeah.
It gives us actual strategies for cultivating more patience in our daily lives.
Okay, so it's not just about wishing we were more patient.
Right.
It's about actually taking steps to develop that inner strength. Exactly. And one of the strategies that really resonated with me was this idea of practicing mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
Just paying attention to the present moment without judgment.
Okay.
And I think that's so important because when we're fully present, we're less likely to get caught up in those reactive emotions
Yeah.
that often lead to impatience.
That's true when we're not thinking about like a million things at once.
Right.
We're more able to just be.
Yeah, it's like hitting the pause button on that inner monologue that's constantly telling us to rush, to worry, to get upset.
Oh, I know that voice well.
Yeah, we all do.
It's loud.
It is.
But, the source also talks about the importance of setting realistic expectations.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Which I think is huge, too.
It is, especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded with these messages about achieving instant success.
Right, like everything should happen overnight.
Exactly. We're told we can have it all and we can have it now. But, the reality is that most things worth having. They take time, they take effort, and they take a whole lot of patience.
So instead of getting discouraged
Yeah.
when things don't happen overnight, we need to remind ourselves that progress is often slow and steady.
Yes. And it's about celebrating those small wins along the way. Instead of focusing on how far we have to go,
Yeah,
we can appreciate how far we've already come.
that's a good reframe.
It is.
I also love this idea from the source
Yeah.
of practicing gratitude as a way to cultivate more patience.
Oh, it's so powerful, isn't it?
It is. Tell me why.
Because, when we're focused on what we're grateful for, we're less likely to feel impatient or dissatisfied with what we don't have.
It's like we're shifting our attention
Yeah.
from a place of lack
Yeah.
to a place of abundance.
Exactly. And that shift in perspective, it can have a profound impact on our overall well-being and our ability to be patient with ourselves and others.
So we talked about mindfulness, realistic expectations, and gratitude. What other practical tips does the source give for cultivating more patience?
Well, it also talks about the importance of taking care of our physical and emotional well-being.
Okay.
Getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods.
The basic.
The basics,
Yeah.
exactly. And managing stress through practices like exercise or meditation.
Yeah. Because when we're depleted and overwhelmed,
Well,
it's so much harder to be patient.
It is. It's like trying to run a marathon on an empty tank.
That's a good analogy.
We need to replenish our energy reserves in order to have the stamina
Yeah.
to be patient with ourselves and others.
This is making me realize that patience isn't just some abstract virtue.
No, it's not.
It's actually deeply connected to our overall health and well-being.
It is. And the more we take care of ourselves,
Yeah.
the more capacity we have for patience, compassion, and understanding.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
Okay.
Patience is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength.
I love that.
It's the ability to stay grounded, to persevere, and to trust the process,
Yeah.
even when things get tough.
Beautifully said. And remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Yeah.
So start small. Be patient with yourself and trust that the power of patience will guide you
Yeah.
towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the unparalleled power of patience.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're bubbly.